Recently, I made a video talking about quick play and casual matchmaking. In that video, I go into detail comparing the two systems, and I try to explain to the best of my ability why I think quick play, TF2's old system, was fantastic and should be reinstated, and why casual matchmaking is the worst cancer that this game has ever received. That video did pretty well, and I'm very happy to hear that most of the people watching it agree with what I have to say. And a lot of people agree that quick play was a better system than casual matchmaking. And I'm the most glad to hear that some new players, some players that never even got to experience quick play, watched the video and they understood. And they also agree that from what they hear, quick play seems to them a much better system than casual matchmaking. Now, of course, there's still some dissenting opinions, there's some dumb comments, and there's just generally some extra points that I would like to make in this follow-up video talking about quick play. And I would like once again to invite all of you to join castaway.tf, which is a great TF2 server running the pre-meet your match rule set. So, if you agree with me that casual matchmaking fucking sucks and is a terrible system, you have an alternative. It's this server. So join the Steam group, join the Steam group chat, and we announce play sessions early, and we hold sessions multiple times a week. Last session we had was on Saturday on Newark, lasted about 6 hours. So, pretty good, pretty good. If you want to join, by all means, water's warm, jump in. And help us create an alternative to this scourge of casual matchmaking that allows us to play the way this game was meant to be played. Some say that post meet your match players who installed TF2 after casual matchmaking was forced into the game, shouldn't speak on quick play. And I actually don't agree with this on principle. I think new players should absolutely be part of the discussion on quick play after, and this is very important, after they get the accurate information on how the system worked. The biggest issue is a lack of understanding amongst the noobs, right? Which is completely understandable considering they never experienced the system firsthand. But if they get the facts and they get to compare quick play and casual matchmaking on their actual factual merits, quick play would have the overwhelming support of the new players. Because again, this is not something that is up for debate. These aren't subjective factors. Quick play was 1,000 times better than matchmaking on every metric that you choose. It was better for Valve servers, and it was better for community servers, and it was better for the players. And I have enough trust in the player base that they will understand this fact if they're given the facts. But see, this is a very big issue. The truth about quick play is hidden and obscure. For example, you go into the TF2 wiki, you search for the quick play page, and you'll find that it's shockingly short. It's extremely short. It's like the Spark Notes version for a system that was a staple of this game for years. To have a page this empty is just bizarre. Like there's no update history for quick play. There's not even an accurate release date for when it came out. And if you look at the TF2 blog, for example, if you look at the official update pages for the bigger updates, you'll find again, quick play is almost never mentioned at all. Like this is very strange. And the fact that there's no official documentation from Valve when it comes to this system means that it's somewhat buried in history. We can't accurately assess all the details and intricacies of quick play because of the lack of records when it comes to the system. What we have is a few videos and screenshots and, giving us bits and pieces of the old era, right? And the recollections of the players who were active before Meet Your Match. And I find this to be a very important issue. And, that's why I made my quick play video. And in fact, I have been talking about quick play for the last year constantly. And I've been comparing it to casual matchmaking, right? because I think that quick play should not be allowed to be forgotten. It cannot be allowed to languish in obscurity. It needs to be brought up constantly and vigorously. And it needs to be at the forefront of discussion when it comes to TF2, because this is the single most important issue plaguing this game. And it can still be fixed, right? But it can't be fixed if the majority of the player base isn't even aware of the issue in the first place, right? And if they are made aware, and if Quickplay gets the assessment that it deserves, if it gets the spotlight that it needs to have, the vast majority of the player base of this game would absolutely support a reinstation of the old system. Because when put up to scrutiny, casual matchmaking cannot hold up. It will become obvious to the majority that it is a cancer that was brought into TF2. And it will become obvious that quick play, that is the cure to this cancer. Something that I've noted and something that I really like is that whenever I talk about casual matchmaking and the fucking dog shit that it is, and whenever I bring up quick play as a comparison, and when I talk about these things like the round limit, like the auto balance not working because of casual matchmaking, I always notice these new players, people who install the game post Meet Your Match, commenting and saying that they agree and they feel like they learned something, and they always felt that something was off about the way TF2 is played today. And when they actually got the explanation and they got to understand the root of the issue, like they understand, they agree. And I think that just proves my point. Like, if these new players, if all of them actually get to hear the comparison, they will agree that quick play is a better system and they will support it being reinstated.
As someone who has been playing TF2 long enough to remember quick play, I'm still surprised every time I hear someone say we need it back. In my opinion, we 100% do not need quick play back. This seems to be an opinion that has been popularized by several YouTubers riding those rose-tinted glasses to high hell. Matchmaking is the modern standard of video game lobbies. What we need is TF2 as matchmaking improved. We do not need to revert it.
Okay, guys, please look at this comment. Please tell me if you can find one singular argument on why quick play is bad and why casual matchmaking is better. Where is the argument? I can't find it. I see zero, fucking nada, nothing when it comes to arguments. And this is what you have to know about the anti-quick play crowd. They don't have arguments. All they're going to say is that, well, matchmaking new, which means it's good. It's the modern standard. Yeah, we had 7 years of bots, but it's a good thing because that's the modern standard. Right. Okay, dude. Sure, man. Fantastic. See, this is the difference. When people say that quick play was better, they have actual arguments to support that fact. Because it is a fact. Quick play was better. And it was better because it had a better rule set. It was made to fit the game. It was better for Valve servers, and it was better for community servers because it was designed to accommodate this game and to accommodate its community. And it did that job very well. And when you hear some fucking moron tell you that matchmaking is better, all they have to say is that, look, it's new. It's new, so that means it's good. This comment is nothing. What do you bring to the discussion, moron? This is just a black hole of discourse. It's absolutely worthless. I get it, dude. I get it. You started playing in 2016. You don't have a clue what the fuck you're talking about. You only had 20 minutes in the game when quick play was available. And of course, you didn't actually watch the video. But why do you have to pretend that you know what you're talking about when you're very obviously completely fucking clueless, you dumb fuck? You're very obviously talking out of your ass. Quick play already had matchmaking. It already had the so-called modern standard. You could click 2 buttons and you were put into a game. The only difference is that it did it in 5 seconds rather than 5 minutes like casual matchmaking. Okay? That's the modern standard. And of course, according to this moron, I'm actually just parroting an opinion that's been quote unquote popularized by several YouTubers riding those rose-tinted glasses to high hell. Yeah, forget the fact that I've been talking about quick play for the last year nonstop, constantly saying it's a better system than casual and needs to be re-added. I'm parroting uh, several YouTubers. Okay, let's type in TF2 quick play into YouTube search, and let's see those several YouTubers that are popularizing this idea about quick play, that are even talking about quick play. Let's see, who am I copying? Oh, my video is the second when you search for TF2 quick play on YouTube, and the third is a star video from 10 years ago, which people are misrepresenting and say, "Oh, this is proof that quick play sucked." Like, who the fuck is talking about quick play? Tell me. Like I wish that there were people. I wish that there were videos with hundreds of thousands of views talking about how good quick play was and that it was much better than casual matchmaking. But those videos don't actually exist. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm kind of glad that when you search for TF2 quick play, my video is right there. It's at the top. That's good. But like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like this idiot's trying to say that I'm just following a trend or something, talking about how quick play was actually great, and I'm actually talking out of my ass. Like, I'm sure that's what you would do, you sad fuck, because you don't actually have any ideas of your own. But I'm talking about my genuine experiences, and I'm giving you my genuine beliefs about quick play. You fucking ape. Yeah, guys, I'm just a trend chaser. I'm just following all these other big YouTubers that are popularizing pro quick play discourse, right? Obviously, as you can see plainly here, despite the fact that my channel from the very beginning was very much focused on quick play. One of the first videos 2 years ago, I was talking about saying that, oh, quick play needs to be re-added. Seriously, why don't you just re-add quick play, you fucking dopes? This matchmaking is a joke. It sucks elephant dick. And the only reason it's 2 years ago and not 8 years ago is because I didn't have a fucking YouTube channel 8 years ago. So you're a fucking idiot, dude. I gotta say, I do like the fact that when you search for TF2 Quick Play on YouTube, my video is one of the first ones you see. It's right there at the top. I mean, that's pretty awesome. But it's just funny, Like, this clown is saying that this was a trend, talking about quick play, saying it's better to casual matchmaking. This is a opinion that was popularized by several YouTubers. And then you just look up TF2 Quick Play on YouTube, and you notice that there's no actual big YouTube videos talking about this topic. I wish there were videos with hundreds of thousands of views talking about quick play, comparing it to casual matchmaking. There should be videos like that. Videos like that should be all over the place, because this is the single most important topic of discussion as far as the game is concerned. This is something that could improve the game massively, if quick play returned. So, I made the video precisely because I don't think enough people are talking about it, and I don't think quick play is talked about enough. It's not understood enough. So I want there to be videos like this. So I wish this was a trend, because it should be a trend. People should be talking about quick play all the fucking time. Zesty Jesus commented, saying that he agrees. And, it's great that he agrees, but maybe you should get off your ass and actually make a video on quick play. So we actually get some discussion being forced into the TF2 mainstream about this topic. Because again, it is still very obvious, it's still very apparent that this is some sort of niche underground thing that most people are just not aware of, and they're not thinking about, and they're not talking about. And that's a problem. Like, that's a serious issue, because this is the single most important discussion that could be talked about. This is the single most important thing when it comes to TF2's future, and when it comes to understanding what's been happening for the past fucking 8 years. And this should be a discussion that's constantly had, because all of this time is wasted. All of these videos are made about fucking hats and skins and shit. And like, who the fuck cares? Something like this, like systems that massively impact everyone's gameplay, casual matchmaking and quick play. Like, this is a discussion that is the most important when talking about this game, and it's just not happening, which is a problem. Look up quick play and you scroll down, like, you're going to get to a point where you get videos with 100 views, 20 views, and then you're going to start getting videos about Overwatch quick play. So if that doesn't prove to you just how little discussion there is about this topic, I don't know what does. Most of these older videos that have quick play in the title have absolutely, they're not talking about the system. They're just playing the game. It's a normal gameplay video, and they're just putting in quick play to say, well, I used quick play to find the server that I'm playing on. Like, none of them are talking about it. But I actually found absolutely a gold video, and this is fantastic. I really like this video. Good Stuff Gaming. Austin looks at Valve's new quick play update 10 years ago with 110 views. This video is awesome because it made me remember how I use this system. I never used the play now button that completely automated everything and just put you on a random server in the game mode. No, I always clicked on show servers, and this gave you a list of all the servers on that game mode, and you could find a Valve server with 20 players on any map that you want on any game mode. So, when people tell you, like, oh, casual matchmaking is great because, like, quick play never allowed you to queue for specific maps, only for specific game modes. Dude, what are you talking about? You could click this button and you could find every single official server on that game mode. And you could find any map that you wanted to play, find a server with 20 players, and join it. And you could do that in 10 fucking seconds. You never had to wait. You never had to fucking sit there and queue. This was something that you could just do yourself near instantly, and it was perfect. And this worked for every single game mode. You could go into 5CP, find a Granary server with 20 players, find a Fast Lane server with 20 players, find a Foundry server with 20 players, near instant, and just join it. And again, that's how I joined RD Asteroid games. You'd go into the beta maps tab on quick play, you'd press on the show servers button, and you'd be able to find servers playing Asteroid with 20 players at fucking 5 a.m. And I remember I used to do that. Again, this is proof that this system was awesome and it was infinitely superior, precisely because you were given control of what type of server you wanted to join, what type of map you wanted to join. You had that option to do everything by yourself. It gave you, it trusted you to find the experience that you want to play on. And that's what casual matchmaking never allowed you to do. And that's why it fucking sucks, dude. And speaking about RD Asteroid, of course, like, that map doesn't even exist in the official rotation anymore. Casual matchmaking fucking broke it. It removed it from the game with Meet Your Match. It's just not playable on Valve servers anymore. And, an interesting thing about that, as I said, you could join RD Asteroid, which was a niche map. It was not a very popular map, but you could always find official Valve servers playing it. And you could find populated servers playing on niche maps like that. And that's another thing that has to be noted. If you want to play a niche map in casual matchmaking that isn't popular, you are going to wait in queue for a fucking year. And again, in the quick play system, you did not have to wait in queue because you could have that option to join those servers manually, and it worked. You could find full servers playing less popular maps, like, for instance, payload race maps that aren't fucking Hightower. You could find those maps. You could find populated servers on those maps, and you could join them manually in 10 seconds. And now, try to queue for a map that is not fucking green. And, just see how long it takes you to find a match. Just see. It's night and day. It's insane. And I really want to hear an argument. Oh, yeah, matchmaking is the modern standard. And, it's a good thing that you have to wait for 30 minutes on a map that is less popular before you could join it in 10 seconds. I'm very interested to hear. how casual matchmaking is better in this regard from the fucking anti-quick play douchebags. Please, why don't you fucking illuminate me, cocksuckers?
Botting technology simply wasn't developed back then. There is nothing preventing Quickplay from being overrun with bots if he was here today. Duh! Stop lying, please.
Guys, you gotta understand. I'm lying. Because even though in the pre-quick play era, since the release of the game, for years, there were no bots. There were no bot waves flooding official servers and making them unplayable. In the quick play era, same exact thing. You don't have bots flooding servers, making them unplayable. That's just not a thing that happened. See, that's irrelevant and that's bullshit. And see, when this piece of shit, rushed, half baked, unfitting matchmaking, casual matchmaking system was forced into the game and was rushed out without being tested, and it was a broken pile of shit from the beginning, from day one, and it was broken since its inception. And see, the fact that it took a year after that shit system was released and we had our first bot wave in Team Fortress 2's entire history. So, like, you gotta understand, I'm lying. And that's just a coincidence. Because it just is, okay? Yeah, casual matchmaking for 7 years out of 8 was riddled with bots, and Quickplay was never had a similar issue. And before Quickplay, again, there was no similar issue. I'm lying. I'm lying. Quickplay would have stopped anything, dude. And it's just pure coincidence that it took a year after Meet Your Match until we got bots flooding servers, and the crisis lasted for years. That's just a coincidence, okay? Casual matchmaking, which is known to be broken completely, had nothing to do with this. Suck my dick. Bonobo? More like bonobo. You dumb monkey fuck. Get out of my comments section, moron. Of course, casual matchmaking had nothing to do with bots. Correlation does not equal causation. Yeah, if I shove a glass jar up my ass and I start bleeding out of my rectum, that's pure coincidence. You know, correlation does not equal causation. Just shut the fuck up, dude. Hey, maybe I'm a little crazy, but maybe if you rush out a system in like a month, like casual matchmaking, maybe if you make that system, you don't test it, and you make it the mandatory way to play the default game, and you completely automate that system, and you completely remove the agency from human beings, from actual players to be able to select a specific server that they want to join, official Valve server that they want to join, you completely remove that ability. Maybe that had something to do with things. Maybe that's had something to do with bots, automatons. Maybe completely automating the system makes it easier to automate a process that floods bots into servers. Maybe, just maybe, adding in a party system of 6 that caps at 6 and having the option for 6 people, or potentially 6 bots, 6 programs to join the same server, the same team, at the same time. Maybe, just maybe, and I'm going to be a fucking psychopath for suggesting this, maybe that had something to do with the bot crisis. Maybe a system that worked and had none of the issues that casual matchmaking brought into the game, maybe replacing that system was a mistake. And maybe when you replace a system that works with something that you haven't tested and you completely force it into the game out of nowhere with no warning, maybe that could be problematic in the long term. Maybe if you fucking try to make some sort of revolution and you completely destroy an old system that was perfectly functional and you replace it with some bullshit, maybe that can bring some unforeseen consequences into the fray. Maybe, you fucking idiots, maybe. And maybe, just maybe, The fact that Quickplay for years functioned without any of this bot crisis bullshit and casual matchmaking failed in a year, maybe it says something about the systems. And maybe it says that one works and one doesn't. Maybe.
Yeah, get over it. Boomer's still talking about it 8 years later. Casual better. Cope. I'm sick of TF2 players never reevaluating their opinions. Complaining about something that hasn't been in the game for 7 years is insanity.
Pretending like Valave didn't backtrack competitivization of the game and fixed every aspect of casual that you are complaining about is insanity.
Oh yeah, guys. They fixed every aspect of casual that I was complaining about. The round limit? Yeah, they fixed that. Auto balance not working for half of the game? Yeah, they fixed that. The game being downtime 90% of the time, they fixed that. Ad hoc connections not being allowed, they fixed that. Queues taking 5 minutes when in quick play they took 5 seconds. Oh, they fixed that. Not being able to spectate, not being able to switch teams, not being able to scramble the teams, they fixed that. Yeah, they fixed that. I just missed the patch notes where they fixed all of that. Maybe they didn't fix it, and you're just a delusional fucking retard. I don't know. Maybe. Fuck you. And I mean, he kind of touches on something. He says that they backtracked, Valve, and they did backtrack on removing auto balance from the game completely and on adding lever penalties into fucking pubs. They did backtrack on that, and that is good. Those are the only good changes. And what do you know, asswipe? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that they didn't backtrack enough, and they need to backtrack on everything. And if they backtrack completely, if they backtrack every single element of casual matchmaking into the quick play era, well, hey, the game is going to become 100 times better. Maybe that's the point of the video, you fucking ape. Maybe. If you want to, quote unquote, improve casual matchmaking, all of the improvements that you can make are just going to make casual matchmaking more like quick play. And again, why bother improving this rotten piece of shit system when you could just cut out the middleman, cut out the bullshit, and cut out casual matchmaking from the game completely and just revert to quick play, which is a better system in every single way. Works, is easy to use, is intuitive, and is just perfectly fine compared to this fucking dumpster fire, you know? Some say that my Overwatch theory, and that Valve ripped off elements in the casual matchmaking system of TF2 from Overwatch, is crackpot. And it's more likely that they modeled it after CSGO casual matchmaking. Except all you have to do is actually look at CSGO's casual and realize that that's obviously not the case. CSGO casual did not commit you to a team before you joined the match. You were given the option to join T or CT by choice. This means that the system did not have ELO-based balancing because it didn't force you into a team. You're given the option. You could switch teams mid-match and you could spectate. All of these features were removed from TF2 with Meet Your Match. On top of that, CS Casual never ever penalized you for leaving early, which was supposed to be an integral feature of TF2 Casual from day one. Ironically, Counter-Strike, the game that is completely rooted in esports and is completely built around competitive, actually had a much less competitivized casual system than the one that was forced into TF2 in 2016. This guy says that I'm missing a big and ironic point because I'm praising quick play over matchmaking, but according to him, the pre-Quickplay era before 2011, that was the true golden age. And to that, all I have to say is, sure, I'm missing the point. I'm missing the point because it's never been made, it's never been documented, and it's not something I experienced and can talk about with any confidence whatsoever. And that's the difference I'm trying to make when I talk about quick play. I'm actually trying to bring some level of historical accuracy when it comes to what the era that I experienced was. And this is doubly important when you get the example of the pre-Quickplay era, which is basically prehistory, you know? Like, I don't want my era of TF2 to be forgotten like that one. And let me just say, with all due respect, the points brought up in this comment about the supposed damage that Quickplay did, to me, seem like complete and total bullshit. He's saying that Quickplay did damage to the community spirit of TF2, and none of it is actually corroborated by actual factual information about the specific changes that came with Quickplay and supposedly damaged the game. And this is a very big difference between what I bring up in my Quickplay video. I give actual details, specific factual changes that destroyed this game when casual matchmaking was forced into the game. In this comment, I see nothing but vague spiritualism, without any concrete specific problems that Quickplay actually brought into TF2. Quickplay was a system that literally united official and community servers under one banner. It was a simple, easily accessible system to everyone, and it spread around all the players into both community and WoW servers. It was a system in which community servers were considered a vital and integral part. It showed massive respect to TF2's many communities by allowing them into the same pool of servers with Valve's official ones. How did this system damage communities in any way is beyond my fucking comprehension. When to me it seems like by design, Quickplay nourished communities. And again, in my experience of playing in the Quickplay era, I got a perfect experience. I had a blast playing official Valve servers when they had none of the cancerous issues of matchmaking. I found brilliant vanilla community servers directly through Quickplay, right? And when I wanted custom game modes that completely changed everything, I still had the server browser giving me plenty of options. My experience with Quickplay is completely positive. And to me, it absolutely seems like a golden age. So I reject these claims that Quickplay is comparable on any fucking level to matchmaking in terms of damage done to the game. That's downright absurd and completely fictional. Anyway, I said my piece. I think a lot of good ground was covered. That's enough for today. And I hope more people join me in spreading the good word on Quickplay. If we convert enough of the uninitiated to our cause, one day there will be enough pressure on Valve to reevaluate their decisions, and Quickplay will return. Trust the plan. We will make this game great again. And in the meantime, while you're waiting for that, join castaway.tf and play some good old fucking TF2. Yeah? See you there.